All right. Table is not as secure as I thought it was. Recently purchased a PlayStation 5, and we're going to do a video tutorial on some cool methods for customizing your PlayStation 5. And yes, there are already companies that make skins, that make just entirely different plates for it, and lights for it, and those are all super cool, and I was really impressed by what was out there. But I wanted to do my own customization, and I wanted to go through that process with all 5 of my YouTube subscribers. And I'm thinking about doing just 2 methods, so there's not going to be a coherent look to my PlayStation 5, but we're going to do one side in a hydro dip, and then I'm going to do another side. So you hear the way my voice cracks? I sound like an idiot. And then I'm going to do the other side in like a PlayStation 2 theme. And at first I thought that was super cool and unique idea. And then I saw a million really well done skins. So not that cool, not that unique, but at least we can say we did it ourselves. So we're going to do one side all black, kind of themed after the PlayStation 2. And then another side is going to be like a bright hydro pattern. But 2 ways you can do right at home with spray paint. Going to be super fun. Let's get into it. Oh wait, I did not mean to break the box. That was not my intention. Okay, this box is tearing apart. So far, my unboxing experience is that all of this boxing is very fragile. I'm somewhat trying to go fast, but not really trying all that hard. All right, and I guess our next mission is going to be figuring out how to take the covers off. I have heard that it is fairly easy. I'm not going to show you how to do it. This isn't going to be a tutorial for how to get the covers off, because I'm going to throw up a YouTube video for that and do it step by step with that. But you lift, you push, you pull. I don't know. Skipping ahead. So, honest to goodness, that was really easy. Kind of wish I had just kept it on, because it's just pull from one corner, pull down, other corner, lift up, pull down. Super easy. So here we go without the covers on. There's a little shot of it. I'm not going to be doing anything to this. Again, that's another thing that they make a lot of skins and stuff for it. I'm probably going to order the D brand light strip. I don't think it's actually lights. I think it's like a photoluminescent tape that like glows. But because if I go into full-blown ordering LED lights, then I'm kind of spending more money than for like a do-it-yourself fun, super easy project. But I might do that because I think they're only $7 for just the if you pick one color. Anyway, so we've got our 2 covers, right? So this is our non-disc drive cover, and then this is our disc drive cover. So for this one, because it's the flatter of the 2 pieces, this is what I'm going to be doing for hydro dipping. I think that'll be the easiest surface to do that on. And this will be the side I do as a PlayStation 2 mock-up. Now, not necessarily keeping in the spirit of how easy hydro dipping is, this one's a little bit more involved. So, I had to think of, first I wanted all black with like the blue PlayStation 2 style logo and then the PlayStation underneath. And it was really hard to get, the style I wanted to do was to just obviously put down the spray paint, put a sticker over it that would protect it, and then I could fill out the rest black. We talk about that with the gun tutorials, where remember, whatever you have down already, that sticker is going to protect, and then you can layer your spray paint accordingly. So I cheated a little bit. I do have a friend that has a Cricut machine that made me these print-offs that I'm going to use. Without the Cricut machine, I don't know how to do the PlayStation font and get that right when you're making this. And another thing was I wanted to do, it's going to be all black with that, and I wanted to kind of do the buttons in like the corner here. And I got great spray paint for that. And that was another thing where I was like, how am I going to do squares, circles, and triangles? Because believe it or not, it was really hard to just find stickers the way my friend was able to make them for me on the Cricut machine. I did, oh boy, hold on. I did think of something. And one idea I did come up with was I got these super, super cheap. So at least doing button patterns is plausible as just sort of like a home do. Where these right here are different sized squares. And one method you could do is to lay down black paint and then do a small circle, right? So now that is protected. And then you do the larger one, and over top of that sticker, you paint the color for the button, and then put the sticker over top, paint black again, and then when you peel both stickers, you should have the layer of black, then your outline for color, and then a black interior, just like the controller button. And that was the method I was going to go with, and then I got the Cricut. So this is going to be a little bit of like I said, this is a little bit more of an involved side because we're actually kind of going for a layout for a look to look like the PlayStation 2 looks. This one is going to be hydro dipped, and I'm going to still try to do like this larger PlayStation here and some of these circles and squares and triangle button designs with the hydro dip overlay. My concern with that, and we'll see how it comes out, is that sometimes the hydro dip layers, it's not like a flat layer, right? It's kind of gloopy. And I think that when I peel it off, I might peel off the surrounding hydro dip paints. And it might not look great. But it's a fun adventure. We're going to do it together. So, next part of the video. Take you through the colors real quick. So that's the button colors. So I'm thinking we found triangle, we found square, X, and circle. And this color was gloss coral, gloss blue, high sea thief, matte beach glass, and gloss berry pink. Also on the hydro dip side, I haven't decided yet, but I do need to pick a color for the PlayStation that's going to go underneath. So I'm thinking blue, black, and gray for the hydro dip. We'll put some buttons in the corner, and then the PlayStation, and I just need to figure out what color is going to go there. So on the hydro dip side is where I'm going to test out my theory about the black first, circle down, color next, circle down. So I'm just going to prep the area on here. Where isn't the ball making the stupid ball noise? Make the noise. Make the noise. Anyway, I'm going to prep this by doing some black. And kind of want to go, I don't know how far up I want to go, but we're going to prep this area for black. I really just have no organization in my brain for this whatsoever. So while I'm letting that dry on the hydro dip side, on the supposed to be cool, well thought out and organized side, I'm going to do my controller icons in the controller icon configuration. So I'm going to put down those colors, and hopefully that's going to look coherent. All right, triangle on top, which is going to be our matte beach glass. Okay. And I'm so nervous. Sprayed that a little too close. Also just realized I probably need to let that individual color dry before applying the color next to it to prevent messing that up. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. I'm so impatient, I'm just fucking shit up. Like, I had to start there, made a big mess. Then I got that in that before. I should have let that dry and put the decal in there. That would only make sense, but I don't know why I didn't. And now whatever. So while I'm waiting for that to work, I guess I'm going to work on the PlayStation 5 logo part, which starts off as a dark blue, then a lighter blue, then a even lighter blue. And I've got this blue and that blue. And here, let me put these next to each other. That's going to be trending into the bright blue. It's going to go right here. It's going to look like crap. I'm just going to go streak, streak, streak. And I don't know. All right, so to get that color transition, I kind of like made that. And, I'm hoping that, and then I'll do like a swipe, let it dry, come back, adjust the tape, do a swipe, come back, adjust the tape, do a swipe. I'm okay-ish with this. The black is like, you can kind of see it's not sitting. I've done a couple of coats from different angles, and it's very streaky. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do the black and then the other things. And if I sound out of breath, it's because I'm having a panic attack because I'm trying to do that transitioning blue, and I don't really have a blue that I like for the light blue. It's very close to this, but kind of not. And I'm not happy with anything. I tried my dark blue, but here's the stupid thing is that like my dark blue, because it's matte, and this blue, like they look like it would go dark to light, but it doesn't really work that way. I fucked it all up, and I tried to wipe it away with the rubbing alcohol, and I couldn't get it right, and I don't fucking know. I don't know what I'm doing. I hate everything. Why I always say this, like, oh, this will be a fun project. And really mean is like hydro dipping is fun. But when you try to like complicate it by doing cool shit with it, like ignore everything else I've been talking about. Just get this thing, fill that with water, put some spray paint on it, splash in the water, and you're done. That's really what I should have just been doing with both sides from the get-go. But I wanted to branch out and do something, and it's just fucking dumb. So after having a couple of mental breakdowns, there's my color swatch. The middle area is still like not super great, but I don't know. I'm afraid to paint and keep making more mistakes, so we're just gonna roll with it. That's done though, so that will go on. Then we'll do some white for the PlayStation word underneath. I gave up on the black and doing the whole circles inside of circles thing that I talked. I still believe that will work, but after my mental breakdown, I'm just not in the mood to try cool, fun experiments. I want to just kind of get it moving on something I think will work quicker and more expeditiously. One thing that's been sitting on my mind is on the hydro dipping one, I'm going to put the bigger... So this PlayStation is too big to go underneath that. We're going to use one of the smaller ones for that. But this big one is going to go in the middle here. And for that, we're going to do like a color underneath, like doing two things at once. And for that, we're going to do a color underneath. I don't know what that color underneath is going to be. I don't know. All right, I think I'm just going to do white underneath that. And then when I do the hydro dip, I'm going to use black and like a lot of different blues. And I don't know if I'm even in the shot. And so then I won't use white in the blend for the hydro yet. Maybe. Probably not. Yeah, probably not. Because then if we keep it dark, it will match the other thing over there. So let's just get some white on the board. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Oh man. So as best I can, I put these pieces of tape down as like kind of a straight edge, even though this is curved and that's curved, so I don't know. There's probably a good way, easy way to make them go on and look really straight, but that's what I came up with. And one problem I've been having with these is getting these to peel off as just the vinyl and not tear up the paper underneath. It makes it hard for them to put on. So I anticipate that being an absolute nightmare too. Yeah, it's just really hard to get these off without tearing. It's just really hard to get these off without tearing off the paper layer that's underneath. Huh. That Y was a little too. That Y was a little too big. Don't know if you'll be able to tell what I'm even saying. Well, I got them on there, and then I realized that I probably should have worked out spacing this a little bit more dead center. It's the kind of thing that, like, from a distance isn't going to look bad, but I'm going to know it's there, so it's going to bug the unholy hell out of me, and I'm going to have another panic attack. Oh, by the way, now I just got to paint both of these all black. The black's going to act as my primer for this one to be ready for hydro dipping. And then black is kind of the finishing touch on this one. Alright, so I did front and back on both of them. And you can see how the light reflects, and it's kind of blotchy with this black, and I don't know what that is or how to fix it. That's going to be a problem on this one because this is we wanted it to look like a PlayStation 2. I think it'll be hidden pretty nicely on this one though, because I was only using the black as just an underneath primer before hydro dipping. And speaking of hydro dipping, let's do that now. Alright, so the colors that are going to be going in, I've got gloss navy blue, matte ink blue, patriot matte blue, and some black will be going in. We want to do it quick because the longer it sits in there, the more the paint doesn't work right. Okay, get me out of here. Okay, I like that. All right, here's the result of our hydro dipped side. Remember, ideally, I'll be lifting up these decals and we'll have a Great looking splash of color for the PlayStation buttons. And then right there should be hopefully a great looking white PlayStation logo. Here, I just put down another layer because again, that black is really not tracking the way I want it to track to just make it look like the classic PlayStation 5 skin. And I'm about to just say, you know, you can order the classic PlayStation 5 skin, or I keep saying PlayStation 5, PlayStation 2. You can order the classic PlayStation 2 skin and get it sent to you. Look great. It's going to look just like the PlayStation 2. And maybe I should just hydro dip this side and call it, you know, a PlayStation 2 themed hydro dip. Both sides hydro dipped instead of, because I just really think that black is not what, you know. Oh, I'm sorry. Bad editing. I'm going to let this last layer I did dry, and if I come back and it still looks really blotchy, we're going to pivot, and we're going to hydro dip, which everyone loves hydro dipping. So we'll hydro dip again. So that newest layer we did actually seemed to take care of a lot of that unevenness or that weird texture we were getting. There's still a little bit of it that I can see, but I mean, honestly, that looks and feels pretty good. I think maybe my final deciding factor will just be, because there are still some like just texture issues up here. That's mostly my fault from where I messed up the blending on the colors. So this is, you know, still an option. We're gonna find out by taking this apart, and if that looks super cool, we'll go ahead and just do it to the other side. All right, after seeing the finished product on that side, I think we are just going to do it to this side as well. One element I want to try to be considerate of, since I'm going to hydro dip this side, is that this is white and this is bright colored. But underneath here is a transitioning like blue scale. So I want to make sure that this kind of area somewhat stays dark and at least off of this area. So I think I'm going to do maybe some of these shapes, just sort of arbitrarily break that up so that there's, you know, some sort of black zone in this area. All right, and basically, like I said, what we're hoping for is that the design will come around, but I don't want too much other blue swirl pattern interfering with the blue pattern that's underneath this PS5. The PlayStation part should stay fine because it's white underneath there, and this will stay fine because it's just like that underneath there. You know, I'm kind of certain areas of this feel really good, and then other areas of it feel kind of fingerprint smudgy, and so I'm glad we're gonna go this route. And plus, I'm a hydro dipping channel for the most part, so channel like anyone watches or cares. Anyway, let's hydro. And of course, the only like hydro dipping like solid black line had to go right across there. So all that stickering was unnecessary because that would have actually been looking perfect, but hey, it's okay. And these stickers are not coming up very well, but we'll get through it. And here we go. Here is our custom PlayStation 5 skins. We are going to clean this area up a little bit more, but for the most part, we're done. Just going to add some touch-ups and some clear coat. We'll show you it on the console. Final thoughts, lessons learned. I'm an idiot. See you later. Well, not later. I mean, there's going to be a transition, and it's going to be the next shot. All right, so the clear coat is starting to give me the same finish and texture issues that the black was doing. So I'm just going to keep applying it because that's kind of what worked on the black. I was somewhat happy with the last round of black that I did, but I decided to pivot to... You were there, you remember. This video is too long, so real quick, we're just going to talk about the stickers that I put on effed up this area. I thought that there'd be a blending issue. Really, that was going to pop and stand out, so I didn't really need to do that. Lesson learned there. And then the adhesive was stuck all over, and what I used to get that off eventually was just Goo Gone and a magic erase, using a Q-tip to kind of dab it on the area and then get it away. Now, this video is way too long, so I'm not going to go over the rest of the clear coat process. It's either going to work or it's not going to work. But either way, I'm going to snap my fingers, and you're going to be looking at a new PlayStation 5 with custom panels. 1, 2, 3. That was a terrible snap. Do it. Shasha. There it is. There's the finished product. I think I briefly talked about the texture. And I did like 4 layers of clear coat. It mostly helped to a point where I'm satisfied with it. So... yeah, there you go. There's the hydro dipped PlayStation 2 themed PlayStation 5. And like I said, I may end up putting some of like the blue strips in here that kind of glow from D brand. Don't forget, a lot of companies also make skins that go here. I thought the black looked just fine. So right now you can stop watching if this is all you cared about, but briefly I'm just going to talk about some lessons learned. Those stickers that I put on here were way too cheap. I did end up fixing a lot of the issue, but you can tell that is just rougher than the rest of it. But I'm not too upset. I think overall it looked good. Also, trying to make a perfect PlayStation 2 replica, that's something you should just do with a skin. That was an idea I had at the beginning of the video, but I'm a lot happier with the hydro dip. That's more along the lines of what I like to do anyway, and I'm super pleased with the way the hydro dipping pattern turned out. Obviously, with this one of the things to consider was that I had a friend make with a Cricut make these stencils for me to put on, which was hella easy to do and came out looking great. So if you don't have a friend, try to plan your project around what you can actually make and do. I'm sorry this video was so long. My editing skills are terrible, so I know this isn't the most coherent video, but if you somehow managed to stick around from start to finish and this helped you out or anything, let me know and I'll Venmo you some money for Taco Bell because I appreciate the 5 views I'm going to get on this video. Much love. See you later. Oh, I should probably mention there's a shorter version on my TikTok. Sorry, much love. See you later.